Hello, Kaizen League. Welcome back to another match. We have the Tier 2 mixed division with us tonight. It's Odyssey Hades versus the Bakery Whisk Takers. I'm Rain. I'm going to be doing your play-by-play today. I'm joined by Fiddy. Hello, Fiddy.
Hello, Rain. How are you?
I'm good, just a little bit sleepy, but it's okay. I'm expecting a really explosive match that's going to keep me awake, keep me on my toes.
That's all we can wish for, isn't it, Rain? Just a nice back and two between both teams. Maybe a map 5 series, you never know.
That's right. Now, since we are here in week 3, we are going to be getting started on Busan, as I believe our lovely producer Aqua actually has a map pool graphic that we could maybe bring up and take a look at here. All right, map pool is up. So yeah, like I said, we get to start here on Busan in week 3. And then we'll be moving through the modes as they're listed here. So we'll head to that hybrid mode next, followed by escort, push, and then flashpoint as that 5th map, should we so need it.
Any popular maps so far, Rain, do you think? I've been seeing a lot of Kings in my personal games, in my casted games. Everyone loves it.
Yeah, I have to say I am very surprised by how often I'm seeing Circuit Royale as that 3rd map, especially here in Kaizen. I think Circuit, one of those maps where there's not really a whole lot of variety that you can play. We're oftentimes kind of locked in on that poke style, but see,
But
as I'm saying that, I've seen some weird compositions in Kaizen on Circuit as
I
well.
know I've seen a Winston dive on a circuit. It's absolutely crazy. I'm hoping to see a bit of, do you know the Life Weaver petal play at the very
Oh,
first point of circuit? I'm hoping to
oh
see that
yes.
today.
Oh, Finny, I saw a great clip in the match yesterday, here on the Kaizen where we saw the pedal up, the Reinhardt charge across, and ended up getting a pin kill onto, I think it was a Brigitte, yeah, on that bridge.
Oh
So,
yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure that was my game. Rain
oh,
is
poor Finny.
Impact.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that's right. Oh my gosh. Well, okay, Finny, hey, good news. We don't have to yap too much longer as we do have bands coming in.
Oh, that's amazing news. So from the bands, yeah, from the bands we've got from Hades, they've banned Brig and Hazard. As for from the side of Whisk Takers, they've banned Genji and Tracer. What do you think about those bans, Rain?
Interesting. So banning out the Genji Tracer from Whisk Takers is essentially just banning out Dive here. Those are
I
the
was,
two heroes, right, that we're seeing with Dive most
yeah,
frequently. Hmm.
I was just thinking the exact same thing, Rain. I feel like they might try and go down a brawl rush type comp, maybe.
Mhm.
As I know, Cosmo he plays a bit of Hazard, so I imagine they don't want to go against that Hazard just yet. They want to see how it goes first.
Yeah, that's a good point. And sometimes, doing the target ban right out the gate can be really smart if you know what you're going up against, because then you get some time to figure out what is the other team gonna run if they're not on their most comfortable hero.
Exactly, just finding out what the fallback is. It's a great strategy, really. You know, you get rid of the best part, and then you see what's maybe a little bit weaker. You never know. But I guess they're going to find out, aren't they, in this game?
Yeah, and thinking about so Busan here, a lot of these maps I think do definitely offer the opportunity to play dive. I'm thinking Sanctuary and Downtown specifically. On Mecha Base, we do tend to see a little bit more brawl here, but I think on the maps such as like Sanctuary, where the point is kind of in the middle of the map, it's a wide open space all the way around the point. It can be really difficult to kind of play that brawl style.
Well, yeah, because obviously Brawl's a lot more up close and personal. As for that map, is very, as you said, very open. You can kind of play a few comps into that map: a bit of dive, a bit of poke, a bit of brawl, whatever your team style is. Really, it's whatever you want to do there. So if you're trying to force a brawl here, they could easily just pull out a poke, and it might be a bit more of an issue. So it's going to be interesting to see which team's going to pick which comp for that map.
Yeah, and it's where you're whisk takers and you're looking to really not play this dive at all, essentially. Maybe you're not very comfortable on it if you're gonna go ahead and ban out the Genji and the Tracer. Um, I think that you need a little bit of luck, kind of. You really want to end up kind of going to mecha
100%.
base here, right? If you don't go to mecha base, you're going to end up on some maybe against some compositions that you don't really want to go up against.
But as you know, Mecha Base is only one map, so it's going to be
Mm,
interesting to see how on the other maps they're going to try and do that brawl. I mean, you never know. They might play something different, but from the bans, as we said, we feel like there might be a bit of brawl coming out from that side. So it will be interesting on the more open maps.
mm, yeah, absolutely agree. And yeah, we talked a little bit about the Genji and the Tracer ban. So looking at the Brig ban that came through first here for Hades, it's kind of interesting because seeing the Brig then being followed by kind of that Genji Tracer ban, Brig does typically kind of play in that dive style as well. Now we have been seeing the Brig played with the Juno a fair amount, which you can live for a really long time, right?
Exactly,
A lot of
yeah.
sustain there, but I'm wondering kind of like what support are we going to see if we're not going to see the Briggs Juno to go with these compositions?
See, it depends what comp they want to run, because if they want to run a bit more pokey, then they'll do like the Bap Polari, maybe Bap Juno, just to still have that speed. As for the Brawl side, they could do a bit of a Lucio Kiri instead. As you know, you got the speed and also the Suzu at the same time. It's very good for a Brawl comp.
Yeah, I agree. The BAP I think has been a popular pick. Maybe not so. I'm not too sure about T2. So these are going to be kind of our this is our platinum kind of a tier. But I think that the Lucio definitely could still see some gameplay here, especially where we're on kind of this control type map. You often want to have kind of that Lucio. You have that aura healing and speed as
Not the
well.
aura healing.
Mhm. The aura healing. Yes, Lucio, the aura god.
Yeah, I completely agree. As well with Lucio, with a brawl comp, it's the disengage and the engage. So with the amp it up for Lucio, it's a very good, like I said, engaging move, but also a disengaging one. And you really need that for a brawl. Knowing when to come back is crucial. As if you overextend or you stay your welcome a bit too long, you end up falling low, dying. Like either way, it's gonna be quite hard for them if they don't play the Lucio here.
Yeah, I agree. And then, well, we have one last hero band that I suppose we could yap about. Just chat if you're wondering why are Finny and Rain just yapping away. We are just waiting for the teams to sort a couple of roster issues out and then we'll be ready to go in. So we're thanks for hanging with us here. But yeah, the last band that was coming out, the Hazard, and you kind of mentioned Finny that this is a hero that Cosmo, who is playing tank
Yeah,
for Whisk Takers, comfortable on.
yeah, quite comfortable on. So I play with Cosmo on PlayStation, well, console as you know, on Impact, and obviously, if you play with him, you become friends, and then I know his PC hero pool is a bit more of the Hazard, um, which I'm just assuming here that they might not want to go against a Hazard, because also you have to remember he's quite a newer tank, so not a lot of teams know how to play into that.
Mhm.
Um, so if they see someone who's possibly plays Hazard, then they might not want to go against that. As I said, you don't see Hazard very often.
Yeah, and I think also like thinking about Busan, I don't know. So Hazard kind of one of those tanks where you have kind of the mobility of the dive, but you still kind of need to be getting up close to do the damage, right? You're not doing a whole lot of poke damage as Hazard. It really is kind of like get in their face, get it done. So maybe on Busan would have had a little bit kind of a harder of a job, maybe finding value. I'm just thinking about kind of like the wide openness of these maps. The violent leap is good, but it just can only take you so far.
Exactly, yeah, and obviously you don't, like I said, you don't want to overextend. Just meaning like you will end up getting utilized by the enemy team.
Mhm.
So we're just hoping that we find the nice middle ground here.
Hmm.
But it's looking like that both teams are ready, aren't they, Rain?
Woo! Oh my gosh, chat! The teams are ready! We will be heading into Busan, like we said. We'll take a look. And okay, we are going to be getting started out on Sanctuary here, so that kind of wide open map, Finny.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they might get a diva going here, especially from the Cosmo as well. Just, the hazards have been banned. They might get a diva instead. As we've seen from one side, already started the diva, so they might do the diva mirror instead of doing the hard brawl.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll see if we do end up on those diva compositions. So we will have Hades on the purple team, or blue, I guess. Maybe blue, and then
Blue,
Whisk
yeah.
Whisk Takers on the, and then Whisk Takers gonna be on the yellow team. That's right. I'm watching the stream chat. I know that Aqua's got those colorblind settings on. Very pretty. Well, Finny, we have some comps being selected here.
Oh, so we were quite correct about the brawl for one team and the diva as well. As I said, Cos is going to try and go down the brawl area with the Ram, and as I said earlier, one's going to have the Lucio, someone's going to have the Kiri. It's quite interesting though, because there's no Ana in this. We still have her unbanned as well, so it's going to be nice to see if we might see a bit of the Ana come out as well.
Well, we're into the action now, as it's going to be Whisk Takers kind of rotating towards this drum side, and Hades looking to take a little bit more space here. You do have this Sojourn. You want to be able to get some angles here, but against this Ramatra of Cosmore, already able to take a lot of presence on the point. The sticky bombs come out from Omni, and that's going to find the kill onto Wu. That means there's no Juno now in the fight. None of that burst healing, and okay, Miracle is down as well. No supports. It's an easy fight win here for the Whisk Takers.
Yeah, that was a great move for the Echo, coming around the side, getting that first initial pick, enabling the Brawl to push up a bit more. It's a great move from the side of Omnipus.
A beautiful first pick there. And this does mean some percentage gained here for Whisk, and you're also crucially going to be able to kind of get set up wherever you want here. Looking like they want to take this staging kind of towards the drum area.
Yeah, as we said earlier, they're just trying to find that first pick, aren't they? Just trying to find when they can engage. And as you've seen there, we just got the first pick from Haunted.
Yeah, unfortunately, Whisk Takers finding themselves just a little bit out of position there. The angle's kind of gained here by Hades, and now
Wafru is going to be able to set up on the point. We'll go ahead and get that flip as well. Now, Cosmore did end up trading out Wu, but Liar finding a nice 2K there. It's looking like, despite a little bit of point contest here from Cosmore and Bagel, not really going to have the numbers. You are going to be able to demech Liar, though. That Nemesis form from Cosmore doing a whole lot of damage. Bagel does fall. That is maybe the sign for Cosmore to kind of retreat out.
Yeah, and maybe probably wouldn't have took that on as long as they did, as they still had they have the map flip. So, but then again, they might just be trying to get the ult charge a little bit. As you can see from ult percentages from both teams, are looking quite even at the moment.
Okay, Omni is going to find that first pick once again for Whisk Takers. Now no Sojourn in the fight. Liar managed to stay alive long enough in that baby diva form to get back into the mech, but already very, very low. Omni is looking to maybe demech that diva. Won't be able to do so as Haunted finding that kill onto Arc. Now no Cassidy, no Deadeye in the fight here for Whisk, and Omni going to be able to find a better Hunted as well. Now, Haunted back in the spawn. Omni picks up a second one. Gonna go ahead and copy this diva as well. Now, the percent is still building here for Hades. So, Whisk Takers, they need to be able to clean this fight up fairly quickly. Get the point back over to them.
Yeah, some amazing plays there from Whisk. Especially with Omni, getting them picks, copying the diva as well, just to stay alive. It's a great thing, and they've got the map percentage as well now. And it looks like we're asking for a pause here.
And the request for a pause coming through. Not sure if it's not indefinite DC. Maybe some lag happening as we don't have the auto pause going on here. But hey, we can still see the ultimates here, Finny. We could take a look at that.
Yeah, 100%. From the side of Whisk Takers, they've still got 4 ultimates here. We might see an early Kiri ult, maybe with the Ram ult as well. It's a great combination. Ram can pretty much just run at them while having speed, extra fight damage. It's crazy. From the side of Hades here, we have Echo, Soj, and Lucio. I imagine Lucio is just going to be in retaliation to one of their ults, maybe, just trying to keep him up.
Yeah, especially, if you're doing the ult tracking here, you gotta know that there's some big ultimates coming up for both sides here. So, I mean, Miracle Milk, if you're holding on to this beat, you're probably gonna want to use it in response to this Annihilation from Cosmore, or you could even
100%.
potentially use it kind of in response to when Bagel uses that beat as well.
Yeah, just to even the playing field a little bit. Anything just to make sure that they've not got their upper hand there.
Alright, well, it's gonna be Whisk starting things off. It's the rush in. Mythic, though, gets a little bit too aggressive, does end up following, but that's okay because the rest of her team is able to find some kills. Now, Lyre does find that kill onto Omnic, so there's no Echo in the fight on the side of Whisk, and Haunted is actually copied over onto the Ramatra here, trying to find some damage, but won't quite be able to build up to that Annihilation. 90% on the board and counting here for Whisk. I mean, Hades need to find an opportunity to get in and touch. Looking like Lyre will be the one to touch with the beat from Miracle that connects onto 4 members. Waffuru didn't quite get that, but is off on the side quite safe. Bagel falling, but Haunted falling to Arc, and Arc is going to use that Deadeye on Miracle as well. Now, the bomb has been used here. Lyre doesn't quite find anything with that, but does manage to stay alive to get that remake. Now, Hades is solidly on the point here. Lyre trying to stay alive and contest. Now, Cosmore, though, does have this Nemesis form, trying to G-Mech this D.Va. Lyre has to get out just for a second, but, I mean, 99% here. You still have to touch if you're Hades. The beat comes through for Bagel. It does kind of send everybody from Whisk just splitting around as Cosmore's going to go off into the sides to take down Waffru, who was doing a whole lot of damage and pressure on that Sojourn. Haunted taking out Myth now. No supports at all, actually, for the side of Whisk. Haunted is going to fall. The percentage nearly capped here by Hades as they have 2 alive on the point, but Lyre has been demeched. Essentially, no tank in the fight now, and now actually no tank in the fight. Nice try there from Hades, but yeah, Whisk is going to take this first sub map.
Yeah, just the ult economy there. As I mentioned earlier, you could call me a sidekick. I said they were going to use the Kyrie with the Ram ult, which they did, which was a great move from the side of Whisk Takers. It really won them that fight really fast. I do think maybe the D.Va might have staggered herself just a little bit too long. However, the both beats from both Lucios were just at the right time when they were needed. Bagel coming back really fast, hitting that beat, really saved Causes and Miss life really, as they were falling quite low until that beat.
All right, well, we made it to Mecha Base, and take a look at this composition that Whisk are coming out on.
You're coming out on the Junkrat. It's a great pick for this map though, as you said, it's very inside, a lot of spam damage can happen.
All right, we do have the Ramatra mirror here. Lyre moving over to this Ram. And, I mean, Whisk are going in very, very aggressively, looking to find this opening pick. And, well, they're going to find it. Now, Lyre is going to take out Omni. But, meanwhile, actually, Cosmore taking out Lucio. Now, there's no Lucio on the side for either team, so you don't have that speed trades back and forth. But, ultimately, Whisk will be able to win the first fight and get the first cap here on Mecha Base.
Yeah, if I was Hades right now, I'd be trying to get rid of that Junkrat. Just the heavy spam damage is just too much for someone to bear if you're just trying to push in. So if I was them right now, I'd be trying to sort out that Junkrat there.
Well, Hades trying to take a different angle here, but, well, Whisk are privy to it. They find that kill onto Haunted. No Echo now, and even though, Whisk moving forward, still Omni unfortunately gonna fall there. The disruptor field from Waffru gonna take down that Junkrat. Looks Hades want to maybe come back into this fight. You're not scared of this Junkrat. You're not scared to fight in this tiny room. Having a very, very hard time kind of breaking out of this choke point though. Cosmore on this Ramatra essentially has this doorway on lockdown, and yeah, it's gonna be Hades sent all the way back again, but okay, Cosmore pushed a little bit too far there, is going to get punished for it. Now, this is the opportunity that Hades really needs. You need to push forward, you find that kill onto Bagel, so Lucio not going to be in the fight. No Annihilation, no beat going to be built up here. The presence on the point is there for Hades, and they will actually get the flip.
Yeah, it was a great. They capitalized on the moment, really. Seeing cards out of position, they took control of that, and then just pushed on their team. And once you've lost your tank and your support, there's not really much you can do there. So it's a great decision from the side of Hades, acting very fast.
Okay, well, it's now the turn of Whisk Takers to go fast and use that Kitsune rush in. Unfortunately, Myth is going to die, but you managed to find Liar out. Cosmore can use this Annihilation as well, finds the entire backline of Hades. And just like that, Whisk Takers are back in control.
Very fast control from Whisk Takers using the Kiri and the Rammel as well. They're still looking good with the Soj, Junk, and Lucio, but from the side of Hades, they still have all 5 ultimates. I'm looking to see an engage with the Juno ult here. However, they might not, as Omni just got a pick of the Haunted.
Looking for a second pick as well. The Tire coming in, looking for Miracle Milk, will end up finding that Lucio, and yeah, just like that. I mean, it's looking very good here for Whisk Takers, approaching that 100% very quickly.
Yeah, but they still have 5 ults on their side from the side of Hades. They just have to try and get that touch and just kind of put a few ults into it.
All right, well, the touch is going to come through for Haunted. Actually copies the Kiriko, TPs off of the point. The Annihilation from Liar on the point. Now it's beats coming out from both sides. Omni on the side of Whisk Takers didn't get that beat, but is set up kind of on the high ground, just raining down damage onto the point. Now we have the overclock coming out from Arc here. Omni did manage to pick up that kill onto Haunted. Overtime still ticking here. Hades need to stay on the point. Liar being that presence ever so needed. Has that Nemesis form. Chasing Arc though. Okay, nearly gets off the point. Is going to be able to stay on it. And with Waparu popping that overclock, Hades hanging on by a thread.
I mean, that's just Overwatch right there for you. Both teams giving every ult they've got. It's a great thing for Hades that they end up becoming victorious on that side. Obviously, when you invest all your ults, you're looking to at least get the win here. So there's a great potential for them.
We do see that that choke point not being held by Hades, so Whisk Takers have essentially just walked onto this high ground above point for free. Now, Omni is on a little bit of a flank on this Junkrat. We're gonna have to be very, very careful if we're Waparu up on this bridge. Just a whole lot of poke damage coming through at the moment, but with that speed engage from Bagel, gonna find that kill onto Wu. Omni all alone on that flank. It's going to be punished for it, so it's even fight here, but you don't have the Juno on the side of Hades. That's a lot of burst healing gone. Miracle finding that kill onto Cosmore with the help of Liar. So now no tank for the side of Whisk Takers. It's looking very good for Hades to try and turn this around. They will be able to find a couple more kills, and again, they're stringing together fight wins.
Yeah, I mean, getting that tank pick really early just really solidified the fight for them. I feel like people need to stop maybe going on by themselves when it's so close to the end. As you've seen there, the Junker got picked off very early.
Now overtime, it's on Whisk Takers to try and stay on the point here. Cosmore did manage to get that touch. You see the fight coming through. Myth is going to fall to that railgun of Waparu. Beat available for Bagel. Doesn't find Arc though, but Omni is going to take out Miracle on the other side. The Annihilation from Liar not going to be able to come online either as Bagel picks up a second kill in this fight. The Riptire just to seal the deal. Team kill comes through. Whisk Takers grabbing Busan.
Very close maps for both teams. As you said, no map was a complete brawl. Like, it was a back and two from the both. Just Whisk Taker just coming out on top in the end. And we're seeing they played the game from Bagel on the Lucio right now.
Oh, you love to see it. Yeah, the beat at the end. Nice little double kill here, I believe. Yeah, nice stuff from both these teams. Now, since Whisk Takers did get that win, it is now going to be on Hades to select which escort map they take us to. We are going to cut to a short break to allow them to do that and to get our bans in, but don't go anywhere. We will be back with map 2 after this.
Goodbye.
Okay, Kaizen, we promised it would be a short break, or maybe I didn't say it, but I was thinking it. We are back here with this tier 2 mixed match. It's Odyssey Hades versus the Bakery Whisk Takers. And Finny, right now, Whisk Takers up 1-0.
They are, yeah. There was a great performance from both teams, though. As we noticed, it wasn't very one-sided, one side dominated. So it's always great to see. As you said, you wanted a fun game, and so far, Rain, I think you're getting what you asked for.
I definitely agree. Yeah, maybe we didn't get that third sub map on Busan, but it was very close on both Sanctuary and Mecha Base. And well, since Hades didn't win that last map, they did have the opportunity to pick which hybrid map we were going to.
And of course, it is King's Row. As I've said, we've seen it loads. I've seen it so many times. It's a great map, though. Everyone knows it, so most teams are going to be very used to this map. So they've probably got their own plans, own strategies. Just a great map to pick, really.
Hmm. Yeah, and well, of course, since we got our map locked in here, we are moving over onto those bands. So we don't have all of them in just yet, but we do have a few in, Finny.
Yeah, and these bands so far are from the side of Hades. They have Hazard, same band from last map. What do you think about that?
I think that they much prefer Cosmo on this Ramattra, which I mean, I don't know if that's a little surprise to me. I thought that Cosmo was doing pretty good on that Ramattra as well.
But maybe they just know they can handle the Ramattra more
Mm,
than the kind of Hazard.
mhm.
As we said earlier, it's all about the strategy of finding out what different tanks you can play into better. Clearly, just they're thinking that we can win with against this Hazard, not against this Hazard, sorry, against this Ram. As for the next bands, we've got the Genji and Tracer again from Whisk.
Yeah, with
I
Taker is banning out those two once again. I mean, you just hate dive at this point, I guess.
I know you should write a personal apology to Dive at this point. Um, you never know; they might have some great Genji Tracer players on the enemy team as well that they might know
Mm,
about. But as we can tell, they just clearly don't want to play against that Dive.
yeah.
And then the final ban is Kiri.
Okay. Kiriko ban. So this will be a new one compared to what we saw on Busan at least. And I don't know, every time I see a Kiri ban come in, I have to wonder if you're looking to play some Ana.
100%. Everyone played Downer on this map, and clearly they want to get the nades out without getting a cleanse. So we should expect to see an Anna here, really. You don't ban Kiri and don't play Anna. That doesn't make sense in my head. What about you, Rain?
No, I absolutely agree. My thing is if you're gonna go for these the Kiri ban and you're looking to play the Ana, what we really need to see is we need to see like aggressive nades, right? You really need to be looking
Yeah.
for these anti nades. There's really no point in like pulling out the Ana if you're just gonna kind of use those defensive nades. So that's what I'm really looking for as we go into King's Row is like looking for engagements based off these anti nades.
Yeah, 100%. You wait for the nade to go out and you just jump on them, really. They can't get any healing, so it's just an easy fight win for them if the nade is right. Though sometimes it's really hard to get that great nade just to get that great engage, but we might see quite a few here as we're seeing. We're about to get lineup soon.
Yeah, we'll head in here. So it is going to be Hades on the defense to start out. Whisk Takers gonna be on that attack here. So once these doors open, we'll have at least a better idea of what Hades is kind of looking to run here, and where Hades are the ones that banned out that Kiriko. We'll get to see if they are thinking the same thing we're thinking about that ban.
Well, we can already see that Anna come out. So they were thinking exactly what we were thinking. We're seeing a bit more of a Widow here and a Freya, so both teams might be looking into a bit more pokey with still a bit of brawl from the tanks. Just a bit of a mix, really.
I have to say I am maybe a little bit surprised to see the Brig coming out with the Ana. So I mean, yes, it's kind of a typical pairing is to have that Ana played with the Brig, but oftentimes it's because Brig is essentially there as a bodyguard against those flankers being Genji and Tracer, who are banned out this map. So we'll see if Miracle Milk is really able to get too much done on this Brigitte, where there's not really going to be anybody that's necessarily diving this Ana.
Yeah, I can see what you mean as well, as you said. Brig is normally a great counter to a dive to protect the Ana. But obviously, with the Genji and Tracer ban, there's not really expecting to see a dive here. Maybe a Diva, but other than that, I'm not really expecting any dive.
Yeah, and looking like Whisk Taker's not really looking for the dive either. It is going to be the Hanzo Genji making an appearance. Wafuru's going to take that Junkrat all the way back. Sorry, not Genji, Junkrat. Back to the spawn there. Now, Cosmore on this Orisa gets nice wall here from Haunted that does split them by. You just don't really have the engagement to kind of aggress onto that Orisa. That's Cosmore and Bagel are going to rotate up to this high ground. Nice rotation here from Wu and Miracle to recognize that, immediately back out. But now the high ground is controlled here by Whisk Takers, and Arc finds that kill onto Haunted. No Mei, a lot of utility now gone from the fight for the side of Hades. And now Liar out of the fight again, and I don't think that there is going to be even a touch on this point.
No, the rotation from Cos and Bagel there, forcing the support off the high ground, just really made the support and the rest of the team a lot more vulnerable, which they just capitalized on. So it's a great decision from the side of Whisk. If I was Hades here, I'd try and not allow them to control your team's movement that much.
That's really unfortunate here for Omni. Was trying to maybe get aggressive positioning kind of over on this soldier off of the Junkrat, but immediately gets punished for it. So now Hades is up one in this fight. Now the soldier will be able to get back fairly quickly, but this is an opportunity maybe for Hades to try and find another pick, stagger these kills out, but not quite finding what they're looking for. You do have the wall out. The nade connects onto Cosmore, but the Terra Surge, it picks up the entire backline of Hades, and just like that, it's going to be a fight win for Whisk Takers.
Yeah, if Whisk is in a great position here, only using just the one Orisa roll, he's getting massive value though, picking both of the supports off. Just a quick fight win for them. If I was on the side of Hades right now, I'd be trying to think of how am I going to get past this Orisa. I mean, you do have Ramble, you do have Mail. Either one can assist that, just got to make sure she gets out that Vortify before using the Mail.
Yes, very true. Now, Hades, like you said, have some tools to work with here. Gonna start with this Annihilation, throw in that Blizzard as well. Does end up catching Cosmore out on this Orisa. The packs come through, but it's not gonna be enough to keep that Orisa alive. And we see, just like that, it's gonna be the disengage coming through from Whisk.
You have to though, once you've got no tank, it's just pointless to push in against a team of 5. As they did then, they waited for the Fortify to come out to use the Mail. It just makes the Orisa just immobile and not able to do anything.
Alright, well, we have Whisk kind of pushing up a little bit here. Omni is still coming back from spawn on that soldier, so you're gonna have to be really careful about that. Haunted finding themselves very, very far up, but the tank Liar off on the side here. Hades, unfortunately, not really all together here. We do have some trades coming through, but now the visor is ready to go from Omni. It's rallies from both sides as well. The Nano went out onto Wap, but isn't enough to keep them alive. The visor from Omni is going to find some value here, and going to find that last kill without the visor onto Wu, as second point is picked up by Whisk.
Yeah, they invested quite a lot of ults into that fight as well. They didn't really go out to their favor. However, I mean, you've got to get them out at some point. It's much better than just holding on to them the whole fight. Try and get them out and just build the next one, go next really. They just need to get their momentum back from the side of Hades.
Yeah, and it's going to be so hard to do that. You have no ults to work with. Wafru over on this Ashe. Now Miracle is taken down by a nice spear from Cosmo, who is pushing up, uses the Terra Surge as well, does a whole lot of damage on, finds the final limb onto Liar as well. More stagger kills coming through here for Cosmore.
Cause just absolutely running at them on this Orisa. They don't know what to do against it. Obviously Orisa's quite a great counter to the Ram, so I do think they needed to swap this a little bit earlier. But you know, you learn something new every day.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I 3 points captured in 3 minutes and 14 seconds left on the clock here for Whisk Taker side Heat. That's a really, really healthy time bank for King's Row.
Yeah, I guess they're sitting very comfortably right now. So far though, have you got any standouts?
Definitely. I mean, I gotta give a shout out to Cosbury. If you get a 3K and then you just kind of lock in that 3rd point there, has looked pretty good. On the side of Hades, I feel like Wafu is hitting the shots kind of, you know, when they get a chance to. Maybe just not quite seeing as much synergy. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I can agree with that one. They just need to work together a bit more and just not get picked off at the start of a fight. If you stay a bit more together, your supports will be able to heal you more, and they'll be less likely to get picked off. For me, I'll have to agree that the Cosmo on this Orisa this map has been absolutely dominant. We've seen quite a good mix from because I mean a lot of brawl tanks, but they've been doing great on the Ram, doing great on the Orisa. I've got to give a shout out to Bagel though on that Lucio last map. That one was very surprising. You know, a lot of the amazing ults. But it is looking like we're about to go into this.
Oh, yeah, okay, a little bit of a swap up for Hades here on their attack. Gonna have Liar move over on to this Zarya, Wafu on the Cassidy, and then Haunted on the Sojourn as well. This Brig Bap comp coming through, so a good amount of sustain here, but we'll see what they can do against this Bashed and Freya composition that Whisk Takers have already. Cosmore falling very, very low. Well, Hades have recognized the big threat on the field and taken it down. Now, it's just a matter of kind of playing patient. I like what they're doing here. Somebody does have to contest the point, and unfortunately with this composition that Hades is running, there's just nobody that can really get up onto that high down to try and contest. Haunted falling very, very low. We see that nade come out, and oh yeah, the follow-up is going to be there from Arc. Now, 1 tick gained here, but that is all that Hades is going to get as they back up towards their spawn. Yeah, a little bit of follow-up here. Wafu is going to end up getting a little bit staggered out, but, you know, not too bad. You get one tick on the point here.
So yeah, ult economy from both teams as well. Coming onto the side of Whisk Takers, you have the Freya all coming out, which is being a great buster for everyone else, pulling everyone in, doing no damage.
Well, there it is. Connects on to Wafu, who has swapped over onto a Bastion of their own. The window came through for Wu there, maybe just to try and get some heals onto Wafu, but ultimately isn't enough to keep the Bastion alive. And now both DPS down, and the supports and the tank for the side of Hades just finding themselves in a very precarious spot right now.
Honestly, you stay quiet enough, they won't hear you, Rain.
Cosmore looking to get a rotate here, and actually a nice kind of collapse here from the rest of the team. Forces everybody that's in that backline kind of backwards here, as we do have the Bastion ult coming through. It's going to find the kill onto Miracle, and then the follow-up as well. And ultimately, once the 3 from Hades got caught out there, it kind of just ended up staggering everybody out.
Yeah, very big stagger from the side of Hades. They are switching to the Orisa, obviously just to combat the Ram. They didn't want to go against the Orisa, they didn't want to go against the Ram. Maybe next time they might try and ban one of them this time instead of the Hazard. Maybe try that next time.
Well, we'll see as Hades looking to get a couple more ticks on this board. Nice anti-nade comes out from Liar onto Liar, but Cosmore actually just ended up walking right past it. The nano connects onto Cosmore as the overclock comes out from Haunted. Haunted not really in a position to kind of find anybody with this overclock, and with the annihilation coming out from Cosmore, oh yeah, it just forces everybody from Hades back. It's gonna be the team kill.
Yeah, and only investing the nano and the annihilation from the side of Hades, so they do have the Briggle. they could probably engage with that and just try and just run into that every brawl. But I'm wondering what they're going to do here, as obviously they've only got 30 seconds left on the clock. They've got to act fast.
It's looking pretty dire here for Hades. Now you do have this rally ready to go. You'll be able to build up to that window and the Bastion ult as well. Nade comes through from Bagel. Does connect onto 2. Nobody quite there to follow up, but the damage has been done. Miracle Melt will fall. Had that rally ready to go to Omni on this Bastion, just mowing people down. Finds a 3K in that fight. It's another team kill with 10 seconds to go.
Yeah, Whisk is putting out so much damage with the Freya Bastion combination.
Oh, yeah, that is going to be it. Whisk Takers picking up King's Row as well. 2-0 in this series, and yeah, they're at match point now.
Yeah, if I was on the side of Hades, I would be a bit scared right now. But I'm sure they can pull it back. I'm sure they can get that next map, and we can see them get the map really. We've seen some dominance in that first map from them, so I'm excited to see if they can pull that back again on this next map.
Yes, so it will be Hades selecting our third map. It will be an escort map. Now, we are going to throw it to a break once again, give these teams time to sort out what map and what bans, but we will be back after this short break. Okay, welcome back to potentially the last map of this tier 2 mixed series. Currently, Whisk Takers up 2-0 against Odyssey Hades. And Finny, we do know what our third map is going to be.
Yeah, we were picking Shabali Monastery here, or Monastery, whatever you call it. um, which I've not seen much this season.
Yeah,
Um,
right? We were talking kind of off screen here, but we've been seeing a whole lot of Circuit Royale these last few matches.
It's unfortunate I weren't able to see the Petal Reinhardt, but you know what? I'll settle for Shimbali.
Mhm, mhm.
We do have some bans, so don't we, Rain?
Yeah, so well, we are going to have the first ban coming out from the side of Hades since they selected this map, and they went ahead and banned out the Orisa. So I think that makes sense to me. Orisa definitely a popular pick here on Shambali, and we did see Cosmore playing the Orisa a little bit.
Yeah, they're just
Uh,
gonna want to do a bit of a difference from the
hmm,
Hazard ban, obviously.
yeah.
They've they've seen his Orisa, they've seen his Ram, so they probably are thinking, "Do you know what? It's last map, possibly. You never know. Hades
Hmm.
can still bring it back."
Hmm.
Last map, just seeing what the Hazard is like. If they can handle the Hazard a bit better, then that just works better into their favor, really. Though it's going to be exciting to see. Next bands do happen to be Genji and Tracer again.
Nice.
um, honestly, they must really not want to do this dive today, Rain.
They're not feeling it, and that's fine. You know, stick to what you're comfortable on. Not necessarily expecting to see the Genji on Shambali Tracer. I mean, Tracer's good. You could see Tracer on basically any map, but
Anything, yeah.
yeah. So Tracer Genji banned out, and then the last ban coming through for Hades. Well, they are gonna go ahead and ban out the Kiriko.
Again, just wanted to play the Ana. You don't ban Kiri if you don't want to play Ana. So
Mm,
we're expecting to see this Ana again, which is good because obviously, as we mentioned earlier from the last Kiri ban, Ana's great for them engages. And I think what Hayes needs to do is try and just like maybe speed up just a little bit. I feel like it's being very controlled by Whisk Takers. I have full faith in them that they can just need to take that speed back and take that control.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I agree. I think Hades, maybe just kind of not playing kind of proactively enough here. It does feel like Whisk Takers are able to go first in those fights pretty much every time, especially where you know I'm expecting that, like you said, Finny, like we're probably gonna see Bagel back on this Ana here, and
Yeah.
for Whisk Takers, like when you're running a composition like that, like you really want to be getting your utility out first, and that's what's really leading to fight wins for them.
Yeah, and I mean, just like I said, we're gonna see that in there again. We just have to. I think ult economy wise, I think both teams have been all right with the ults. Obviously, just making sure you're using them at the right times, not over investing. We've seen a bit of over investing, but
Mm.
I mean, they just want to win the fight, really, don't they? It tends to happen sometime. We've all been there playing Overwatch, and
Mhm.
10 ults come out at once.
Yep. Yeah, one thing that I find kind of as you kind of move up in the competitive ladder, like I'll remind chat. So this is our platinum tier. So you know this is going to be our tier 2, and I think that once we move into kind of tier 3, tier 4, we see a little bit more of kind of comboing those ults. I think right now we're seeing a whole lot of, you know, people are getting good value with their ultimate, but it really is just kind of on the individual that uses the ult to kind of find that value. Maybe not as much kind of finding team value in the ultimate.
Yeah, 100%. We are not seeing the Hazard here, which is quite a surprise considering Hazard was not banned this map finally. But we are coming out on the Ram, Ash, and the Bastion. A lot of heavy damage, especially with the BAP as well. And I'm assuming Bagel's just there just to pull them all back in.
It's gonna be a really close spawn here from the side of with Takers with this Ramatra. Now you do find that kill on the Whopper. We're gonna find the kill on the Lyra as well, who's over on this Junker Queen. The Petal gonna give a little bit of high ground to Omni. And well, I mean this close hold seems to be working so far.
Yeah, I've never seen that on Shambali. It's a very interesting strategy to use. You know, we all see it on different maps. Like I see it a lot on Rialto, just maps where you can utilize the space, but I've never seen it here. But it looks like they're switching to the sim just to rechange the direction they want to attack in.
I like this from Hades. You use this sim, you flip the map, but now you are gonna have to dislodge Whisk takers from this payload. And well, with this Symmetra, you do have to get kind of up close and personal to be able to really do any chunk of damage. So we will see Liar on this Junker Queen kind of taking an angle here. The form comes out from Omni, the pedal onto Liar. Nice shout to be able to get out of LOS of that fashion. The pull does come through from Bagel as it's essentially just a poke battle here. Now we see some shots being exchanged. It's the speed ring out from Wu. We're gonna see Hades kind of pushing forward here. Wabru gets a little caught out on an edge. And just like that, Whisk takers respond, punish the overextension, and send Hades back to the spawn.
Yeah, it was a great rotation from the side of Hades. I love that sim TP that they done. However, I just feel like you just need to engage straight away. You know, they weren't expecting that TP, but it felt like they were just trying to play the poke instead of just trying to run at them. But I love the idea though.
Right back to this spawn hold here. Now the pedal is available. Omni on that Bastion. Gonna go up on the pedal, finds that kill onto Wafru, who is over on the Ashe. Now the pull comes through, just keeping Omni out of danger. Liar has swapped over onto the Mauga here, but Omni picks up another kill, finds that kill on to Miracle. No Lucio in the fight. It's essentially just a waiting game kind of over and over side of Hades.
Yeah, I mean, once you lose your support and you lose one of your players, you tend to have to wait again. And it's looking good for the side of Whisk with ult. They've almost got all 5. However, they are coming up to the Echo ult, so we're expecting to probably see the Echo ult come out. Or they might try and wait for the Juno ult to come up as well. They might try and combine it a little bit.
Okay, Liar finding the first kill of the map here for the side of Hades, but it is going to be Cosmo pulling out this Annihilation. Of course, it's the copy coming out from Haunted, who goes over onto that Ramontra just to stay alive. Is managing to get some heals from Wu, so might be able to build up to an Annihilation of their own. 60 seconds on the clock here, and it seems like Hades have finally broken this hold here. The tree did come out from Bagel, but isn't enough to keep the Life Weaver alive. It's just the remaining members, Myth, Omni on the point here, but Arc actually is back in the fight on this Ashe. Has Bob ready to go should they so desire as well. It's going to find the kill onto Wafru, but a whole lot of space being taken here by a Liar on this Mauga, and that's going to allow at least a little bit of cart progress here for Hades.
Yeah, I think unfortunately in that last fight, Whisk just kind of got split off from each other, leading to the tank getting picked off, and then the rest following. Some were able to get out, but yeah, Hades capitalized on that really fast, which was great for them.
Right, it's the window here from Myth onto the payload, but Liar has just walked right through it, not bothered at all. The Bob comes out, is on the pedal over with Bagel. The cage on point does not last long, immediately broken through, but this orbital ray from side of Hades keeping their team in this overtime, and first point has been capped by Hades.
Yeah, they invested quite a lot of ults there, but I think Hades had to do that to ensure they get that first point. You can obviously charge him again, but you can't charge him if you lose the map. So I think that they should have done that really, with pulling out the Mauga rule. Was great for them.
Yes, it did kind of cost everything, but I mean, Wafru is going to have this Bob ready to go, so we are going to see Omni swap off of this Bastion, going to go over to a sim of their own. We are going to see the fight happening kind of on the second corner. Arc going to find the better of Wafru, so now there's no Bob on the side of Cosmo on this Ramontra. Nemesis Form ready to go, pushing forward, taking space, looking to find a second kill here. Myth and Arc are set up kind of on an angle just to catch everybody out from Hades at the back up away from that. Haven't quite found the kill just yet. Haunted manages to get out with just a sliver of HP as Liar is back in the fight. 5 members ready to go here for the side of Hades.
Yeah, it's great that they pushed out just in time. I remember saying earlier about when you ever do like a rush brawl comp, you always want to know when to engage, and having that Lucio there just to help you really helped them get out of it. But we are seeing a Bob come out from Wafaru.
Okay, Wafaru used the little coach gun up, Bob through the window. Bob is at half HP, but manages to find the angle onto Cosmo. Now, no tank on the side of Whisk. It's looking pretty good for Hades to try and take some space here. You do lose Wafaru in the meantime, but numbers advantage still in favor. Bagel, though, okay, gonna trade out, and that is finding 2 kills. And Whisk Takers do manage to get out of that fight with a few members still alive.
Yeah, I completely thought Bagel was going to fall there, considering where they were, but then they're getting them 2 picks. I feel like what Whisk need to do is just really quickly engage, while they've still only got 3 players.
Alright, it's the speed ring out from Myth. Not a whole lot of space being taken here from Whisk, but they are very much in control of this card. Just a poke game essentially coming out on the side of Hades. Potentially playing to get this beat online from Miracle Milk. You do have the Orbital Ray ready to go as well. Woo gonna go ahead, open things up with that. It's a speed ring and the Annihilation in response from Whisk Takers. Miracle Milk gets that beat off. Just gonna go to Wafaru, but he does find all 4 other members. And you'd have to keep Haunted alive, though. The Annihilation Cosmo just absolutely cutting through that beat from the side of Miracle. And gonna find Miracle. Cells, Liar falling very, very low. Only Woo all the way back on that slope. That is as far as Hades are going to be able to push this payload.
Which is still quite a great push for them as well. Like, I liked how they used the routes. I mean, I think what they tried doing is more when they get to the point, then investing a lot then, instead of, you know, staggering the ults. Do you know what I mean? Just wanted to throw them all at once just to make sure they get the point. Unfortunately, it just didn't work out for them that time. As for the side of Whisk, they did have quite a few ults to counteract theirs. But honestly, a great showing from Hades, from my opinion.
I agree, especially where I thought first point hold was looking very, very dire. They tried a few kind of comps and rotations to try and break out, and then finally they managed to do so and get a good amount of progress there. So yeah, really nice adaptation, I think, from the side of Hades to get that payload as far as you did. You know, didn't quite capture that second checkpoint, but it's manageable defense-wise.
I definitely think the Malgus swap had to play into that. Malgus does heavy damage, especially into a ram, because he's got such a big hitbox. It allows Malgus Cardiac to really kick in. So I think that was a great swap for the side of Hades. We are seeing a few now, though. We're seeing Arc swap from the Ashe to the Freya now. Omni swapping from the Bastion to the Hanzo. So I wonder if that's gonna change anything.
Yeah, definitely this Hanzo Sonic, and Hanzo has the one-shot kind of potential here. Looking like they might have just done that to kind of see if that close spawn hold was being done in retaliation towards them. It's going to swap over onto the Widow. Now, okay, the Widow finding that pick onto Miracle Milk, who actually did kind of just get back into the fight there. Was a little bit late on the Lucio to get into things, but now no speed from the Lucio. But hey, you do some of the healing and the speed from the Juno. That's going to allow Liar to find that kill onto Arc. The Freya out of the fight here now. And just kind of playing safe is the name of the game here for Hades. You don't want to lose anybody else. Your Lucio will be able to get back into the fight very quickly. Miracle Milk already back. Now, nice rotation coming through from Cosmo and Myth, though. It's going to allow some angles to be taken, but, I mean, the map flip is just going to come through for the side of Hades, doing exactly to Whisk, as Whisk had done to them on the attack, or on their attack.
Yeah, like you said, just both teams are just trying to make sure that they're just getting them picks before they engage properly.
Wow, Omni has done enough damage, gets those sights online, found the kill onto Woo, so you don't have that burst healing. That's really, really important. Trying to keep Liar alive on this. We see Miracle Milk just doing their very best. Healing aura on, trying to keep Liar alive. Will rotate out. His payload has actually gained quite a bit of progress here. We have 4 members from the side of Whisk just moving this payload forward. Omni, another headshot, takes out the Lucio, and that is the go button. Cosmo get aggressive here. It's the charge in from Liar onto the point. Has that shout and Haunted. Trying to find some damage here, but Wafaru gets caught out, and you don't have the Juno, you don't have the Lucio in the fight just yet. Liar's gonna fall, and that's essentially going to be this first point capped up here by Whisk Takers.
Yeah, a very different attack compared to Hades. Obviously, they've still done the same rotations, which was very nice to see. You know, he ended up with the attacking side in the defensive spawn and the defensive spawn on the attacking side. You don't expect to see it, but we are seeing the swap to a Sombra. I'm assuming just to combat the Widow, you know, keep on getting a consistent pick. So just trying to shut it down really quick.
Yeah, Haunted already looking to find Omni. But that grapple flyer had the stomp in on the Malga, but just didn't have the sustain to try and stay alive through it. Now, Hades do not have their tank in this fight, and it's looking like Whisk Takers want to maybe push up, find some stagger kills. Haunted, not going to be able to get out alive there. Wu's going to go ahead, commit this orbital ray, but just nobody's able to play it as Cosmore pops this annihilation, forces everybody back from that orbital ray, and trying to chase down, finds that kill on to the Lucio as well. Now, looking to essentially just get some stagger kills here. Wu falling very off, looking to try and find this, and it's going to be Cosmore that picks up that kill on to the Juno. Just Liar alive on the point here, and Bagel has got a rally to just really force this Malga out. We're approaching that golden box of victory. It's Haunted on the Sombra. Malga, and this will touch. Haunted will be able to get the first touch, but it's 5 against 1. Bola connects. Nice beat though. Miracle Melt does connect onto 3 members, and Whopper, the Dead Eye, finds the solo kill onto Arc. Both DPS are out of the fight now for the side of Whisk Takers, but there are still numbers. It's a 3v3. Cosmore back with this Nemesis form, trying to find some damage here. Bagel is falling very low. Whopper going to pick up another one in this fight, and with the reinforcements arriving here for Hades, 0.68 meters, they hold on.
Such a close defense there.
Omni.
Congrats to both support. No, it's fine. Yeah, no, congrats to both supports and that DPS is keeping the side of Hades alive during that contest. As you said, 0.68. That is absolutely so close for the side of Whisk, winning it all, but you know, they still got that fighting chance in them for the side of Hades.
Absolutely, you got this cage to work with now. Haunted building up to the EMP as well. Now it's going to be a fight happening kind of over towards Coast here. Going to use this cage, blocks up 4 members, but okay, well, you are actually stuck in there with them. Liar is going to get traded out. Waparu picks up the first kill for the side of Hades in this fight, but you don't have your tank. What do you have to work with? You have an EMP, you do connect onto 2, but you just don't have the numbers. Oh, it's going to be Whisk Takers picking up Shambali and taking the series in a 3-0 sweep.
Yeah, Whisk Takers just had a great team synergy about them. We've seen a bit more team synergy in that last map of Hades. It was an absolutely great map for them on the attack and defense. So far for you, any MVPs for you?
Yeah, so I think MVP on the side of Takers, although you know, honorable mention, I think Omni really popped off kind of on Shambali specifically. I think that the first 2 maps though, it was all Cosmore, especially like on the tank, you know, you're finding the 3Ks, you're making a lot of space, which is really important for kind of to make your DPS allowed to find those big kills. So for Whisk Takers, I think Cosmore probably my MVP, but on the side of Hades, I gotta give it to Wafru on this DPS. The Cassidy especially, I mean, you tried to pull Shambali back from the brink there, but pretty consistent
Exactly.
even on the other maps that we saw as well.
Exact same thing. I completely agree. Cos on that tank was creating so much space for them, and Wafaru on that cast was just doing so much consistent damage. I think we've got our MVPs, Ryan.
All right, yeah, congratulations to Cosmore for the Orisa, I guess. You know, why not,
Yeah,
right? Yeah, the Orisa and then Wafaru on that Cassidy for so good job, teams. Unfortunately, Hades not able to get a map win here, but hey, it's only week 3. There is still time.
exactly.
Yeah, so yeah, thank you so much, chat, for tuning in for this series. Thanks to the teams for showing up and putting on a pretty good match for us here. It's been Rain and Finny on the mics, and shout out to Aqua, our producer, as well. So yeah, that is going to be it for us here tonight, but stay tuned to those announcements channels to see what matches we're going to cover next. Have a great evening.
Goodbye.